We always look forward to this time of the year because you go up to the mountaintop before the first of the year and spend some time alone with the Lord and in prayer, and God gives you some insight into things. Tell me what happened this
sometimes
year.
I've had things that have been so spot on, it's almost frightening. Other times I say, well, I put these out tentatively to see if this is what the Lord has. I'm not some kind of a psychic, so I want everybody to understand that. But I ask God for direction, and He very graciously gives it to me from time to time. But here are some of the highlights of what I felt that He told me over an extended period of time. I'm going to share more of this with our staff, but here goes, and take it for what you feel. And this is what I'm writing, and I'm saying this is what the Lord said. Your country is in grave peril. The leaders have hearkened to the demands of interest groups and have led your nation into bankruptcy. In 2 years will come a time of reckoning. It's not now, but it's going to be 2 years from now. Your creditors will demand payment, and there will not be enough to satisfy their claims. Your currency will shrink in value. Your bonds will lose value. People on fixed incomes will suffer. Unemployment will escalate, and there will be turmoil. And God says, I will protect my people, but He says, warn them now about what is coming. Tell them to get out of debt and restrict purchases now. Because, you know, if you own your house and you have whatever you have and there's no debt against it, you get to keep it regardless of what happens. But if you have debt against it, you lose. Now, the Lord said, my glory will shine throughout the earth. Everywhere men will be seeking solutions to their problems. Many will turn to me. Many will curse and revile me. There's going to be a division coming up. It already is, but it'll be worse. It will not be a time of happiness, bitter recriminations, revolutions, increasing turmoil. In the midst of that, CBN will prosper, Regent will prosper, and the ACLU will be needed as never before. And this is the AC. What did I say?
You said ACLU.
Ooh, no.
Just need to correct
the ACLU, the American Center for Law and Justice, will be needed as never before. And God's going to give us extraordinary miracles. It's going to be another good year for CBN, but it's going to be tough for the world. So that's the main message. And the word was in 2012. The man who is going to be elected president will preside over, quote, an impoverished nation. Now, it's hard to believe that could happen, but it came quickly.
Well, just as we just saw with that story on Governor McDonald, you know, you can turn things around quickly, but things can fall just as quickly.
Well, I don't think this is, in a sense, set in stone. I mean, you know, that's just what's going to happen if we keep on doing what we're doing. Yeah. And we can change, and obviously it's not, but that's the way it is, and there's going to be turmoil and confusion. And, you know, the Lord said, wise men have offered solutions, and their solutions won't work. And there's so many people who feel so proud of themselves, but they leave God out of the equation. Yeah. So that's but unless we do something, the country's bankrupt now, is what the Lord is saying. It's now, I mean, if you look, you know, we have more debts than we have ability to pay them. Yeah. And so I think it's time that we understand, and we've got an example from Bob McDonald here in Virginia that says, here's the way we can fix it. Yes. But it's going to be serious, Terry. I don't think people realize the rate of unemployment, especially with people on fixed incomes, how they're going to be hurt, they're going to be suffering, and there will be turmoil and bitter recriminations. And of course, around the world, as this strikes, then there'll be rioting and looting and all the stuff that goes along with economic problems.
So getting your house in order financially, getting out of debt would be the practical things to do, and spiritually, well, getting tuned into the Lord.
Get tuned into the Lord. Remember the parable of the wise and the foolish virgins. The one had extra oil. You know, for Christmas, Gordon got me a little teeny lamp about as big as what I'm showing right now, and it was a lamp you fill with oil, and that's what the foolish version, they all had the little lamp, but obviously it runs out of oil, so there was a little vial of oil that the smart ones had with them, something to refill when it ran out. And so they were prepared, and people who are not prepared, but you just know of a fact there's going to be economic hardship. And
well, over and over again in the Word, it says, "Let him who has ears hear."
Yeah.
And so it's a time for us to be open to what God's trying to say.
It's not a it's a realistic message. It's not a message of disaster. Or there's something else the Lord said, and I think this is very important. I forgot this. He said, "I am not going to let men destroy the world with nuclear bombs." And I think that is important. We worry about North Korea, we worry about Iran and so forth. The Lord is not going to let that happen. So I think we can take that one off the table. And that's encouragement. But he did say, I'm going to bring some judgment on people, but they'll know it's me. It won't be the result of some man hand and some person who is a fanatic. Mm-hmm. He is not going to allow men to destroy this world with nuclear weapons. Mm-hmm. So that's
an encouragement.